Hola, buenos días, bienvenidos a esta sesión con Colfuturo y como invitado está University of Bath y en su representación se encuentra Vera Shin. Ella es Recruitment Manager y va a estar explicándonos un poco acerca de la universidad, la oferta académica, más información acerca del convenio con Colfuturo. Y bueno, este es un espacio que pueden aprovechar, además de escuchar la información. Al final vamos a tener una sección de preguntas y respuestas o Q&A y allí pues pueden enviarnos sus preguntas por el chat, las vamos a estar leyendo y Vera nos va a estar acompañándonos con las respuestas a estas preguntas. Entonces, pues es una oportunidad para interactuar con la universidad, para poder resolver todas las preguntas sobre el convenio. Consiste en un descuento sobre el valor de la matrícula para los beneficiarios del programa Crédito Beca de Colfuturo. Este descuento es del 15% para los admitidos en maestría, en programas de maestría, y del 25% para las personas admitidas en programas de Master Philosophy y PhD o doctorado. Si requieren información acerca del programa Crédito Beca de Colfuturo, tenemos 2 sesiones al mes, el primer viernes de cada mes a las 8 de la mañana, el segundo sábado de cada mes a las 9:30 de la mañana por nuestra página web colfuturo.org. Allí también van a poder ver la programación de todos los eventos. En noviembre ya tenemos eventos programados con Education USA, con otras universidades. Vamos a empezar a tener webinars para que puedan preparar su postulación al programa Crédito Beca, que abre convocatoria en enero del 2022. Entonces, bueno, sin más preámbulo, thank you so much, Vera, for joining this session with Cosfuturo. And well, you can start the presentation.
Oh, gracias, Caroline.
Con gusto.
Hola, everyone. My name is Vera. I'm sorry, I can only speak poco Spanish, but yeah. So hopefully today I will give you general information about our university, the University of Bath, a top 10 UK university. So I am Vera, and I currently working for the university at the postgraduate taught student recruitment office as a student recruitment manager. So if you have any further questions after this webinar, you're welcome to email me. I put my email address here, so I can answer your question in detail later. So for today, first we begin with our beautiful city of Bath. I don't know how many of you have been to the UK, but as a tourist, if you have been to UK, you must know people love to visit Bath because it's a beautiful historic city. And we are located at the southwest of England, as you can see from the map here. We are about 90 to 80 minutes by train from London. So if you take plane and fly to UK, normally you will be landing at the Heathrow, London Heathrow Airport. So from London Heathrow Airport, it will take about 2 hours by coach directly from London Heathrow to the city of Bath. As I mentioned, Bath is a city with rich history. So the picture you can see here is the famous Roman bath. So this architecture was built by Roman back to 2000 years ago. It's a grand architecture, and now it is a museum. So myself, I have visited for 3 times already. Like one is 15 years ago, one was 10 years ago, and the latest one was about 2 years ago. And every time I just find something very inspirational, and it's a beautiful place to visit. And as a Bath University students, you will get a free admissions to the Roman baths. And this is also the UNESCO World Heritage city, the whole city of Bath. And I'm going to show you some pictures to give you an idea about how the city looked like. And as you can see here, by the time they called Bath is one of the world's greatest place to live and to study. As a university, we are one of the safest universities in the UK, as well as the city. And because nowadays, I think people are quite concerned about the safety in terms of health, in terms of security. But at Bath, you will, have no worries about just concentrate on your study, on your life in the city and at the university. And you can see there are a lot of beautiful architecture and the little shops, pretty shops scattered at the city of Bath. And I'm sure after your study or during the weekend, you can, just go shopping or maybe have a cup of wine with your classmates, with your friends, hanging out at the city, and lots to do in the city. And this is a famous, we call it Bath Abbey. And the next to the Bath Abbey is the Roman bath we just mentioned. So as you can see, every year, the city will receive a lot of tourists from all over the world. So it's a very vibrant, dynamic city. And apart from the rich history and stunning architecture, and also throughout the whole year, we have lots of events, festivals going on. For example, the Hot Bloom Festival, the music festival, or if you like British literature, you must know Jane Austen. Jane Austen used to live in Bath for a while, so we have a Jane Austen's residence or museum you can visit. And also in, I think it's around August or September time, we have a festival called Jane Austen's Festival. And people will be wearing the costumes back to the Georgian dynasty. So you will find it's really interesting to be able to experience that British culture. So as students, you can, if you're undergraduate students, you can live on campus for your accommodation. If you are applying for the postgraduate or PhD students, you normally, from this year, you normally will be living in the city of Bath. So the city of Bath, between city of Bath and the campus, is only about 1 mile. So you can take bus, or you can cycle, or you can walk from the accommodation in the city center to the campus, which is on a little hill, on top of the little hill. And as I mentioned, there are lots of museums, galleries in the city. So as the students of the University of Bath, you get free entrance to all the attractions and the museums, which is a really good benefits. And you might ask, in terms of a living expense, how much gonna cost for students living, let's say, from 9 months to 12 months, because that's normally your postgraduate course lasts. So if you are applying for your visa to come into the UK to study your master's course, normally the UKVI, the UK Immigration Service, will request you to at least to have about £9,300 for 9 months as your living expense. So you should have that amount of money in your bank account. So if we're talking about 12 months, if you're living also during your summer holiday, so make it into 12 months. Normally for accommodation, it depending which types of accommodation you will choose. So we have, for example, ensuite, you will have your own shower room, bathroom, or if you want to have your own kitchen, or if you want to share a kitchen or bathroom with other students in a flat. So it's ranged from £130 per week for the university accommodation to about £200 per week. So in the UK, they normally talking about 1 week, for the accommodation fee. So that's how your accommodation gonna cost per week or per year if you times 52 weeks. So also it's depending on your lifestyle. Obviously, different people have different lifestyles. Some people maybe want to travel more or eating outside quite often. Or if you're going to cook yourself, then that make the living expense much cheaper. So we give you a kind of general idea about from, I think it's around £10,000 to £14,000 per year. Then, as I mentioned, our beautiful campus is on the top of a little hill. So the city center is on the right-hand side, on the top of the right-hand side, as you can see on this picture. Then you can take a bus, which will take you to the center of the campus. That's about 15-20 minutes. Or on a very beautiful sunny day, you can walk to the campus. It's about 30 minutes. Then on campus, you have all sorts of facilities. Then on the right-hand side, on the bottom, that's our undergraduate accommodation. Then on the left-hand side, that's our sports training village, which is huge. And you have all sorts of sports facilities you can enjoy and exercise after your study. And in the center, we have our teaching buildings, learning buildings, libraries, post office, restaurants, bars, student unions, and supermarkets as well. And you can get all sorts of things you may need. So it is a very convenient place. And I have to say, it's a very close community for our students and staff, because people, I think we have students from over 130 countries and the staff from all over the world as well. So it's a little international community, but very close. So now we move on to the teaching side. You may think about why I had to choose Bath to study or to live. So from the teaching side, the university will provide our students with wide international connections. As I mentioned, our students are from over 130 countries, and our staff internationally as well. We also have international connections with industry, with a lot of companies, corporations as well. So you will have a lot of connections worldwide. And also the university will provide our students with the employment skills while you are spending your time and studying at the university. And you will learn and obtain a lot of the real world experience apart from the theoretical knowledge you will need. Then you will get yourself ready before you stepping into the job market. So you're fully rounded with all sorts of knowledge and skills you may need for your future job. And you may ask about the ranking. So we're very proud the University of Bath is listed the top 10 UK university by 3 key national rankings, as you can see here. One is the Guardian and the Complete University Guide and the Times. So we are all within the top 10. This is among, I believe, over 120 to 134 UK universities, and we're top 10. And if you want to find, the subject ranking, which is related to your interests, you can find via the link showing here to find the detailed information. At the university, at the moment, we have 4 faculties, which you can see here. One is our School of Management. And then we have our Faculty of Engineering and Design, Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, and Faculty of Science. So I'm going to talk about some popular courses or main courses under each faculty, and you may have a further consideration about which one you're going to consider or have a further look. First, we're going to look at the Faculty of Engineering and Design. So we have different departments under the faculty. The first one is Architecture and Civil Engineering. As you can see, we have different subjects which for your master's study. Then some of you may want to pursue your PhD as well. And we also have electric and electronic engineering, chemical engineering, and mechanical engineering. And from this year, we are accepting applications under the Department of Mechanical Engineering for 3 new master's program, apart from the first one, which we are teaching now for this year. But for the 2022, you will have 3 more additional new programs in relation to automotive engineering. So if some of you have the engineering background, or if you have a science background, for example, computing science, physics, apart from the mechanical engineering or automotive engineering, you can also consider the other 3 programs as well. And they focus on the different area. So the first one, they focus on the electrical propulsion systems. So the students, we would expect the students, applicants with a mechanic or automotive engineering background from your bachelor's degree. And for the second one, which is the new program for next year, Automotive Technology, those are for students who may not have the engineering, mechanical engineering or automotive engineering background, but they do have computing science or physics or other engineering like civil engineering background. They may want to work in the automotive industry because it's still is a very promising industry, booming industry in some countries as well. So they can consider this master's course for next year. And for the latter 2, as you can see, they have the elements with business and management combined with the course. So those are for students who want to be, for example, a senior manager at a specific engineering company or engineering company, or want to move to the management level and with their undergraduate engineering background. So so you can have a further look via the university's course webpage, because on the course webpage, they will have the detailed information on for example, the structure of the semester and the structure of the course, also the units for each semester as well as for the entry requirements, as I outlined here, but they will have a very detailed entry requirements. And here you can see this is an institute we called IAAPS Institute. This is funded by the University of Bath together with the government and the local enterprise together. So this institute, we have a very advanced, for example, facilities for engineering students, especially for the automotive engineering students, to do their experiments, to do their research work. And if you are PhD students doing your project, and you will be based in this institute inside. And also we have experts working in this institute, and who will also be giving lectures to our students who will be on those courses. And you will receive lectures or seminars or guest speeches from those experts in the industry regularly. And we will also invite some, like directors or experts in the automotive engineering industry to come to university to meet our students. And the university will also organize a trip to the institute for our students to visit, to meet with those experts and to ask all sorts of questions, and also to see all sorts of those advanced facilities we mentioned just now. So yeah, and the place, this is very close to Bath. I believe it's just within 1 hour. So it's very convenient for our students if they want to do some experiments for their study or for their research projects. Now we move on to the Faculty of Science. Under the Faculty of Science, we also have 5 departments. That's biology and biochemistry, and chemistry, computer science, as I mentioned, is very popular, and mathematical sciences department. Also, pharmacy and pharmacology, we have lots of programs which are very popular, especially under the COVID situation at the moment. So, and there are some very popular courses, especially under our computer science department. There are very good courses. When you see here with the stars, those programs also offer our students for 1 year placement opportunity. Yeah. So the course itself is 1 year, 12 months. However, if you obtain a placement from, after your degree study, after your first 12 months, then you can continue another 12 months to do your placement with your future employers. I have a student, she joined the university in 2019. So she was studying MSc Data Science with Statistics, and she finished her degree study last July, and she successfully obtained a placement with a local large energy company called EDF Energy. It's a French company, but they have a lot of the business in the UK as well. So she went for the interview. It was an online interview because it was a COVID period of time. So, but she was successfully obtained the opportunity for the placement, and she's been working there for 1 year already. And she just told me 2 days ago that the company has extended her contract to another 12 months. So she will be working there for another 12 months, which is a really good opportunity for her to, have 2 years work experience and after her degree with the university. And I'm sure she will do well for her future job, huntings. Another thing is for another course called MSc Machine Learning, which is something to do with the AI, artificial intelligence. And this is also a very good course together with our data science course. And as you can see here, Forbes said Bath is a UK university that is fast developing a reputation as a center of data science excellence. So I'm sure some of you may be considering applying for like data science or machine learning, those courses. So you can have a look on our course webpage. So then the third faculty is the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences. And we also have a diverse master's course or PhD course under the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences. For example, economics, education, social policy science like international development. I think it's quite popular in Colombia. We have a lot of applications in the past from the Humanities and Social Sciences faculty under those departments. And the politics, languages, and international studies as well. Health, for example, the sports management, health management, and also psychology is another very popular courses under our department. Then the last, but not the least, is our School of Management. So we have a lot of popular courses for our School of Management. Currently, We have MBA, full-time and also part-time executive MBA courses. So I don't know if some of you have been, working for years, for example, over 4 years experience. Then in that case, you may want to have a look at our MBA courses. And for students who have work experience less than 5 years, so you may want to have a look at those listed courses, MSc courses. And I can group roughly into three categories. The first one is accounting and finance related. So the first four, as you can see here, accounting, finance with banking, and finance with risk management. Those are under our finance suites course. Then the rest are what we call specialized master's course. So for example, if you want to do business analytics or marketing or human resource management or operation logistics, supply chain management, which is very popular for since last year because of the COVID. So it seems the logistics side is getting more and more important. So I think you can all look at those specialized courses. Then the third group is the courses what we actually accepted students with or without the work experience. That is engineering business management. And this course is across the faculties. One is some modules you will be studying under the School of Management, and some of the modules you will be studying under the Faculty of Engineering and the Design. Yeah, and the sports management is a new course from this year, which you also can apply for next year. And here you can see there are some rankings for some of our School of Management courses. Yeah, we have very highly ranked courses, for example, marketing, business, accounting, finance, and MBA as well. You can have a look. Then we move on to the entry requirements and application process. So in terms of the entry requirements, generally speaking, we were looking at your two areas. One is from your academic background. One is from your English level. So we will have a detailed explanation for the academic requirements, but generally speaking, a UK 2-1, 2-2 degree equivalent, this is what we're looking for. And I will be talking about how we convert that into the Columbia qualification later. And also looking at the English requirements, we consider a wide range of English tests. For example, IELTS, we normally, for most of our courses, master's courses or PhD courses, we will be looking at 6.5. Then the single components will be minimum 6.0. But for some courses, for example, just now I mentioned there are some specialized master's course at the School of Management or some courses at our engineering faculty and design. So that's like architecture, we need 7.0. So, but most of the courses will be 6.5. That's the overall score we're looking for. In terms of the types of English language tests, we also recognize TOEFL if you do that in Latin American region more often rather than IELTS, or PTE, Pearson, or from last year, because the COVID situation, lots of tests, they have an online test, for example, Duolingo. So we do accept Duolingo from last year and for this year and for next year entry as well. So at the moment, we are considering accepting Duolingo. And if you want to find the equivalents to the IELTS, for example, 6.5 or 7.0 for Duolingo or for TOEFL marks, so you can go to the university web page we have a very detailed table showing, the equivalence for other language tests. Then a standard offer for our Colombian postgraduate students in terms of academic background, as you can see here, we will be looking at your local qualifications and in your subject area, their subject area, with a final overall results of at least 3.5 to 3.8. This will be depending on the program you will be applying for your master's. Because some master program will request 3.5, but some will be requesting above or at least 3.8. So you have to check on the course webpage I just mentioned. If you type the course name onto the search bar on our university website, and you can straight away see the course page with the entry requirements on the right-hand side. And if you click in and select the country, Colombia, then you can see all the details like the GPA, the marks requested. And if you have non-standard qualification, please don't hesitate to email me, to contact me. I will be very happy to have a look and liaise with our admission department to have a further look at your background and hopefully to be able to give you advice on what kind of a program, which program will be suitable for you to apply for. Yeah, so it's no problem if you have a non-standard background. And normally, once you have submitted your application, and our admission department colleagues, they will assess your application together with other documents requested. So when you fill the application form online on the university website via what we call application tracker, it's a platform for you to submit your application form. And at the same time, you should be able to attach for example, your transcript, your degree certificate, if you have. I know some of you may not have your degree certificate at the time if you are in your final year, and you probably will get your degree next year. No worry, as long as you can supply your transcript for the previous year you have done, that's fine. And if you haven't done any English language test, that's also fine. Don't worry, because you can do that later at a later stage. And you might get a conditional offer. So the condition will be once you have achieved our English mark or requirements later, then we will change your offer from a conditional offer to an unconditional offer later. But I have to mention, be careful the deadline of the application. So because different courses have different deadline, you have to check on the course webpage for each course application deadline and don't miss out, the last day. And it will take about 4 to 6 weeks for our colleagues to assess your application normally. But I would say if you are in a rush, for example, I know some of you may have to apply for some scholarships or funding opportunities within certain dates. Please do get in contact with us as soon as possible, and I can liaise with the university to say if we can have a fast track for your application and with the outcome. So then you will be able to use the offer to apply for the funding. But also if it's outside 6 weeks and you still haven't heard anything from us, this could be various reasons. Maybe they are waiting for some more documents from your side. So you need to check via the application tracker platform to say if there are any messages from the university, because that's a channel, that's a platform university will be in contact with you if they are needing more documents from you. Or maybe it's because of a peak time and our colleagues, they have a lot of applications to assess. So, but if it's outside 6 weeks, please do get in contact with me or my colleague at admissions, so we can have a further look for your application. Then next is scholarships and funding opportunities. So I would like to thank you, Cofuturo, today to provide this platform to give our students in Colombia this information. So Cofuturo and the BOSS, we have a long-standing partnerships to provide our prospective students in Colombia for a funding. So as you can see here, the funding is towards your tuition fees. You will get discounts for your tuition fees. For example, if you are applying for both PhD research course or the master's research or postgraduate courses, so you will be able to apply for the tutorial and BOSS funding. And this is the condition before you apply for this opportunity. You need to be a Columbia student, national, yeah. And because I know some of you might have a dual passports, like the European or even British passport, so you need to be classified as overseas students for the fee purposes if you apply for the for this funding. And all the detailed information you can find on the tutorial website, which I'm sure you can access from Colombia. And there are some like criterias or deadlines. So that's a key message information you have to bear in mind when you're applying for the funding. And I assume you will need an offer from the university before you apply for this funding. So do check how long the deadline will take. So as I mentioned, the assessment for your application from the university side will normally take about 4 to 6 weeks. So just make sure you don't miss the deadline for the set by the tutorial for the funding. That's I think that's quite important. Apart from the tutorial BOSS funding opportunity, and the Universal BOSS also provide a wide range of scholarships to our students all over the world, including students in Colombia. So the first two, Dean's Award and Global Leaders Scholarships, those are for students who are applying for the courses under the 3 faculties. Those are Faculty of Engineering and Design, Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, and the Faculty of Science. So those 2 scholarships are for those courses. And the latter 2 are for the courses under the School of Management. And plus, obviously, the MBA is also under the School of Management. So those 3, if you are studying one of those courses, you can apply for those scholarships. Again, you have to look at the deadline for those scholarships. However, we have set quite flexible deadline for 3 rounds, except the MBA one. So for all those 4 on the top, we have 3 rounds. So the first round will be closing on, I think it's the 1st of January, then March, then July. So for those early applications, if you submit it, for example, now, and if you get an offer from the university, then you will be notified with the outcome, whether you get the scholarship or not, by January. And for the later applications, either before March or before July, then you will be notified later. But I think the latest time for applying for the scholarship for those top 4 will be July, 1st of July. So do keep an eye on the deadline for the application for the scholarships. And the condition for applying for those scholarships, either you got an unconditional offer from the university, you can apply for the scholarships. Or even if you have a conditional offer, for example, if you haven't got your degree, if you haven't done the English test, but you got a conditional offer, that's fine. You can also apply for the scholarships. Yeah. And all the details, again, is via the link provided here. So last, it's the supports provided by our university to our students. So apart from the academic support, as you can see here, we provide a lot of academic support. You will have your own personal tutors for your course, and you will be doing a lot of projects together with either individual project or group projects. And we also have a peer mentoring, academic and social as well. And you can get a free language course. Either I believe is one is in the lunchtime, and the other time slot is in the evening. Because I'm learning Spanish in the evening before the COVID, so it's free for the students and the staff. So I would encourage you to choose the language. For example, if you want to learn French or Italian or Mandarin or Japanese, so you can all or English, so you can all join those courses free of charge. And also, there are a lot of welfare supports provided by the university. On campus, we have our medical center and dental center as well. So as an international student, you will get medical treatment free of charge for for consult with the doctor on the university campus. You may be charged at a small amount of prescription, like I think is £9, about £9, but that's for all the British residents in the UK and standard charge. But yeah, so for the medical treatment, it's free of charge. And if you have any question about the money, like disability, immigration, like your visa, we have the office and advisors to give you professional advice on those. Yeah. And also we have a student service center. You can ask all sorts of questions and we will give you dedicated advisor then to be able to provide you with specific information. And last, you can join our we call it Bath Connection network. That's a network for alumni, global alumni network. So you can talk with our graduates who now probably are working around the world in different companies, and you can ask them sort of questions like the employment questions, skills based questions. So you can connect with them through that channel. And we also have a dedicated career service. This is very important and very useful as well. The student I mentioned before, she got placement last year. Actually, she used our university career service right from the beginning when she joined the university in October. And when she started her semester 1. So she visited the career center and gets the advice on how to improve her CV, how to improve her interview skills. And later on, we mentioned that the interview move on to the online. Then at that point, our career service advisor also gave our students about how you can do a good interview via online. So that was quite useful. I would suggest all of you to do this as early rather than later. So yeah, I think there are a lot of supports provided by the university, and I'm sure you will be enjoying studying and living at Bath. So I hope this gives you a kind of a general information about the university and about the city, about what we offer in terms of the course and the entry requirements as well. So I'm now open to the questions if you may have any questions.
Thank you so much, Vera, for the presentation. I
You're
am
welcome.
checking the chat to see if there's
Okay.
any question. Well, we have a question from Nicolas. He says, I will finish my master degree, my degree in architecture, and I
Uh-huh.
want to make a master on
Uh-huh.
urban studies. Which are my options to start a program?
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Caroline. And thank you, Nicholas. This is a really good question. I think you probably have done your research, have you? Because you know, architecture at the University of Bath is ranked highly domestically in the UK and internationally as well. It's one of our, top ranked courses. So I don't know what's your undergraduate background. So normally for our architecture master's course, we will be looking at students with either from the architecture undergraduate
Yeah.
background, and also if you have done civil engineering background, that would be helpful because it would be different for Bath architecture master's course compared to some of the other universities master's architecture course because those other courses, they may accept students like purely based on the fine arts, like drawing or design, but we will be looking more on the engineering, civil engineering or architecture background. Yeah. So I think you need to probably have a look at your undergraduate, like the module you have taken for your undergraduate study. Um, yeah, and no problem. And yeah, because actually yesterday, this is a really good question and in time as well. Yesterday, I did a webinar with our vice dean of the engineering, and she did mention our architecture because there's a part one, part two, part three, and for part one normally you will have 3-year equivalent UK UG degree plus 12 months practice, and for then you move on to the part two, which is a master study, and you normally you will need to have a look on the what we call the RIBA. If you search RIBA, Royal Institute of Architecture Association, that's if you want to be an architect and join some projects in the UK. So that's a requirement. You have to have a look at that first. If you haven't done those practice or courses or qualification or not enough, then you will need to go to another website. Let me find that one for you. I think, yeah, that one is the ABS. You need to go to that website because they will provide you additional exams. Then you will be looking at to take those exams and to be able to be eligible for applying for architecture master's courses. But I would suggest you to email me your undergraduate background plus your CV if you have. Then I can pass on to our associate dean international is a professor Sally Clift. So she mentioned she will be very happy to look at your case, look at all the students' case who is interested in architecture background on an individual basis. So she will give you further information on how you can do for your next step. Would that be okay? Yeah. So you got my email address on the screen, and then I can talk to Professor Clift and get back to you on that as well.
Right. I am typing the email so they can
Yeah.
copy it.
Thank you, Caroline. Gracias.
You're welcome. Okay, there it is. And well, one question would be, what recommendations could you give to the people that are starting the planning or collecting the documents to have a successful application?
Oh, that's a really useful question and very practical as well. Thank you, Caroline. Yeah, lots of students will be asking that question, I'm sure. So if you are considering applying for a master degree course at the University of Bath, So as I mentioned, we normally will be looking at your two criteria. One is your academic background, one is your English background. So for English background, you can do different types of English test. However, there is another option. I'm glad, Karina, you mentioned that, because some of our students, they may find at the end of the application process, their English test is still, maybe still there is a gap, like 0.5, 1.0 gap. Like if we're asking for 6.5 or 7.0, they may get 5.5 or 6.0 in the end. So in that case, we actually, as a university, we provide what we call processional English course in July and August every year. This year was online and last year was online, but the normal year where a student will be able to come to campus to do those 5-week or 10-week processional English course. So our academic will be teaching our students to improve their English level during those 5-10 weeks, and then also giving them some specific trainings on according to their subject, like management, business, or engineering, or economics. So, which will be very helpful for students to have these 5 or 10 weeks before they move on to their degree study in September. So, yeah, I think that's another option for students who want to strengthen their English language level, or who may not be able to achieve the language requirements by the time they apply for the visa, and then move back to the academic preparation. I would say first at this stage, because you may want to look at the entry requirements now and find the course you're looking for. Then to see if you have any, gaps in terms of a GPA. Then you probably have one more year, 2 more year to narrow down that gap, academic gap. Yeah. And another thing is, I would suggest students to also look at our course page. That's a really important information page. First, look at the course general information, how this course, what this course is about, and also especially for the course structure, what kind of modules included. For example, some courses, maybe we all call the same name compared with other university. However, we may have different modules, units for each course. So you need to make sure the module you will be studying is the one you want to study or you are interested in. Yeah, so I would suggest that's a quite important process. Then, if you are interested in our course structure, course units, then that will make you to apply for the course. Then in terms of the documents preparation, as I mentioned, if you have all the documents, transcripts, that's the essential documents, and degree certificates, if you graduate already, you should have the degree certificate. If you don't have at the moment, if you're in a final undergraduate study year, don't worry, that's fine. Then the second one is the references. We need at least one reference from the beginning, and normally we ask for 2 references, one from your academic, one from your employer if you are working now, or if you are still a student, it's fine for 2 from your academics or universities. And then CV, you may need a CV. Also, another important document is what we call personal statement. Because we do, and people, sometimes we got students submit their personal statement. Actually, either it's too short or it's too long, or it's repeated a lot of the same thing, or they didn't actually change the university name. They are applying for the university boss, but with another university name on the personal statement. So please don't do that, because our admissions colleagues or the academics, they do look at your personal statement and they do take it very seriously. So in your personal statement, you should include, your background, your undergraduate background, and how you want to study for your master degree and why, the reason you want to study this course, and the reason why you choose BAS, this master's course or PhD course. Then yeah, maybe a little bit plan about your future, like if you want to work in a specific area or if you want to pursue your PhD research degree. So I think those are key information we're looking for. Yeah, I hope that would be helpful.
Yes, thank you so much for the information. Well, those were all the questions we received in the chat. So if anyone has an additional question, they can email you. I just
Yeah,
wrote
definitely.
the email in the chat. So Vera, thank you so much again for this presentation, all the detailed information. I think it was very clear for everyone. And
Thank you, Caroline.
you're welcome. Gracias a todas las personas que se conectaron en esta mañana. Los invitamos a que sigan nuestras redes sociales, Instagram, a que estén pendientes a nuestra programación en colfuturo.org para que puedan conocer cuáles son los webinars y las sesiones informativas que tendremos durante octubre, noviembre y diciembre. Esta sesión está siendo grabada y será enviada a sus correos en los próximos días. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Gracias. Adiós.
Adiós.